Calocito, Bimbo, hey.
She's Pharisees. Yeah. Let me talk about my life, nigga. This is how I feel. I spent the last 5 years trying to figure out a hill. For real, I step between the balance, being rich or being killed. Yeah. For real, a nigga independent.
Welcome to yet another episode of the #1 podcast in LA. I keep telling y'all this, Unselfish Behavior Podcast. We are here yet again for another episode with a very special guest in the building. Y'all know we take a lot of pride in Unselfish Behavior Podcast with highlighting what I like to call just legendary boots on the ground influencers in the city, right? Like people that have a mission behind what they're doing, people that have broad minds with the ability to be able to talk about a various amount of different topics and things of that nature, right? People that I can learn from. So I don't sit with nobody ever in life, whether on camera or out of camera, that I cannot learn from. And this sister right here is extremely, extremely powerful. I've had the beautiful pleasure of knowing her for going on about 4 years now. I met Lucky about 4 years ago. But without further ado, welcome to the Unselfish Behavior Podcast, the one and only Lucky. You understand? Make some noise for Lucky, man. We're in the building. We're in the building. How you feeling?
I feel great.
Good.
I'm in front of my brother and his queen.
Yeah.
You know, a good time. I'm ready to get lit.
Yeah,
what's up?
I heard that.
Gloves off.
Hey, well, look, let's jump right into it.
Let's get into it.
I don't start no episodes without just laying the foundation for my guest that may not know who you are.
All right.
So real quick intro. Just talk a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what you stand for.
Okay, as you heard, I'm lucky. I think I am, in one word, just
Take another shot, Lucky.
Yeah, let's go and get this shot in.
Yeah.
I'm a poet, really. I'm a writer. I wouldn't call myself an influencer just yet, but if you feel inspired, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm from Memphis. If you can't hear the accent, I'm not a Cali native, but this is my second home now. I've adopted. And like I said, everybody here, I think in the room right now, can consider themselves family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like for me too, when it I call everybody fam for the most part, right? Like for me, I call everybody fam until they give me a reason not to look at them as fam no more.
Right.
Like I'm big on that. Like don't matter where you come from, right? Like what your culture is, what your background is, your belief system is. I'm gonna treat you like my literal blood family. Like,
good dude.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful honor to have you here, my sister. I've not seen you since 2018.
Too long, like I said. A day too long. A day and a half too long.
Yeah, that part. Real quick, what's been new with you since the last time I've seen you? What's been going on in your life?
Man, I think the gap has been between us is like COVID, and it's more than just, what we think it is. I think it was a time for everybody to kind of reflect on themselves and life,
Absolutely.
Life slowed down a lot for me. Because,
Absolutely.
I'm so used to being a busybody, on the go, partying outside, and then I had a lot of time to just do a lot of reflecting and analyzing myself, others, life, what was important, what wasn't. So I think that's pretty much what happened. Life slowed me down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people right when COVID hit. I saw like the media and even people that I knew personally that was struggling with isolation, struggling with solitude. Like, isn't that powerful? Like to see like the average person does not enjoy spending time with themselves.
Hey now.
Right.
Say now.
So when you talk about having time to reflect on life, what are some things that you learned during COVID that you may not been as aware of before COVID struck?
I realized that first, how much people didn't like themselves. So, how pre-COVID, you could already tell, like, people who were socially awkward, kind of. But I think that just intensified. If you spend so much, I think even social people became a little socially awkward because you get like this paranoia, like I ain't been around people, what you want, too many energies, too much vibes. In one space you can't really, I think, grasp what's going on because you can't even really feel how you're feeling. So COVID taught a lot of people like to pay attention to themselves subconsciously and others, as well. So I kind of peeped that. I felt like I got better at cooking,
I heard that.
I was never in the kitchen.
A nigga like me got better at eating.
All right.
I don't know if I'm the only one during COVID when it first hit that, got a lot of awareness. Like, damn, I'm really like a serial snacker. You understand what I'm saying? Hello, I'm really like a cereal snacker, somebody who's just like eating out of boredom. Like,
no, you remember
you know
at
what I
the
mean?
time we threw the party?
Yep.
I knew I had zero cooking skills.
Facts.
Now, I can throw a little steak, a little lobster,
Hello.
Hello.
Excuse me, seasoning on point, the whole nine. Excuse me.
I mean, you can ask them.
Let me find out. Huh? Bay in the back.
Hello.
There he is.
Hello.
Salt Bay at the house. Is that
all
what I'm
right?
hearing?
That's it though. I ain't say too much. I just said steak and lobster with a potato on the side. Don't get carried away.
Now listen, not too much, not too little.
But
More
you
than
you learn how to just become a better yourself.
Yep.
I think that was the goal. So if you didn't, you had nothing but time. That's on you. If you didn't, a lot of people got like them PPPs and EDDs. We're gonna go into it.
Yeah.
But if you got that money,
yep,
and you still broke,
you did the wrong thing with that money.
We just gonna close the cap on it.
We're gonna take a shot. We're gonna take a shot on that note. If you got that PPP money, I know a lot of niggas got 20 grand and nothing to show for it right now.
No,
not good.
Not good.
So we're gonna take a shot to the fact that what nuts. Absolutely. So real quick, I want to dive right into it. Dive into our first topic. I know I sent you a multitude of different topics earlier, but you know me. You know me very well, right? I'm a broad thinker. I'm a free thinker. At least I like to think as myself as that.
Definitely.
And I'm one of those people that I have no problem talking about any and everything that comes to my mind. And I know a lot of people are not comfortable with that. So
I'm an open book.
Hello, excuse me.
Shoot it.
One of the first things I want to talk to you about, just because it's the most present thing for me right now in my life, and that's death.
Okay.
Right? It's mourning. It's the process of like seeing somebody every day, and then the next day they're gone forever. Like you'll never, ever, ever in human form be able to physically have that physical experience anymore. And I know, rest in peace, Mr. Edwards, who was my mentor. This was my English school teacher from 9th grade all the way up until 11th grade. But this man, rest in peace, Mr. Edwards. But, I'm doing this episode right here. Thank you, Spirit, for telling me that. I'm doing this episode right here in remembrance of him. I'm dedicating this episode to him.
Okay.
And how can I dedicate an episode to Mr. Edwards? Because he was the king of discomfort. He was the king of meeting strangers and empowering them so much that they naturally became a jumper of discomfort. They like he instilled that quality inside of me to embrace uncomfortable situations, right? And for me, he just passed last week. I'm still in the fresh mourning stages of like, damn, I'm never going to be able to call Mr. Edwards again. Damn. I'm never going to be able to get advice from him again. I'm never going to be able to text him again. And I know you recently, as of about a year ago, you lost your ex. Is that right?
I did.
Okay, so what's that mourning process been like for you? I know you guys were super tight, super close with respect to your new situation, but it's just real. It's a part of your journey.
It is.
What was that like, losing a best friend, and how have you been dealing with that?
Well, pretense, that death, as significant as it is, I'm no stranger to, mourning close deaths, unfortunately, But
you're from Memphis, right?
Right.
Okay.
Understood. Right. I think everybody that's not even from there knows it's a very treacherous place, and it's not for the soft or the weak-hearted. So that said, I think I was already stronger than I thought I was when it happened. Stronger than I needed or wanted to be, because if I had imagined it before it happening, I could have seen myself just like spiraling out of control, downwards, losing myself, which I did for a small period of time though.
Understandable.
But like you said, if this wasn't even like a romantic love, this was still like somebody in your everyday routine, everyday life. This was my best friend at one point, and I'll never see that young man again. So that's not a easy pill to swallow. I think for the young people, I would say, especially moving forward, tomorrow does come.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow will always come.
Absolutely.
So whatever's happening today, if you feel like tomorrow won't happen for you, it will. And every day that you wake up, that's God reassuring you have a reason and a purpose to be here. Okay?
Absolutely.
So, I feel like I was You know how I am.
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
motivated, ambitious. I like to be active.
Scorpio, right?
Scorpio gang.
Excuse
okay,
me.
hello. If you don't know, wake up.
I'm knowing what's going on.
Hello. All right.
I know what's going on. Scorpios is a lot like Capricorns, and I know one is a fire sign. Is that right? Scorpio fire sign? Yes.
We are actually water.
It's a water sign. Gotcha. I'm thinking about Leo. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Leo.
Yeah. They firecrackers.
Very fluid.
But we're very fluid.
Yeah.
Smooth like. But also strong and resilient. Most importantly, very strong and resilient. And like I said, with all respect to my new love, because he's very understanding. He has been a
shout out to the new love.
Okay, hey,
and thank God he black.
Yeah.
You walked in here with a white dude, and not that I got a problem. I'm just like, damn, you talking about all this black empowerment shit on Instagram.
Have you ever seen me?
I never.
Have you ever?
Never.
All right.
Never, ever have I seen my sister.
Okay, we love
I'm
black
just
and
saying.
brown love.
I love everybody.
We love everybody.
Let me be clear.
Black and brown
but
love.
I love more than anything seeing young, black, thriving couples.
Okay.
Hello. Excuse me.
Well, like I said, have you ever seen me in a different?
Never.
All right.
Never.
Okay. But no, for real, I think mental health should be the forefront and center of the coming conversations, because I never think I was applicable for that conversation. I'm like, I got my shit together. I'm strong. I'm resilient. I done deal with death before. I done deal with failures, X, Y, Z. I've never lost like I lost last year. I never felt that. Just the call. You could play it a million times.
And it's not like you lost a friend that you talk to every now and then.
Right.
You lost a friend that you was seeing every single day.
I think anybody, if your program is interrupted, let's say you go to Starbucks every morning at 9 a.m., you and your girl. Something happens to your girl, or Starbucks unfortunately closes, your program is disrupted. Something in you will be disrupted.
Off.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for a long time, I was trying to get my program back in order, and what that taught me was solitude is uncomfortable. It's discomfortable.
Especially when you're going through something.
Especially when you're going through something. But a lot of us feel like, well, I don't want to, if you like me, I don't want to be a burden to you. Let's say you're having a good day. I know I'm still living.
I'm not trying to pour my shit on you and I'm going through something.
I'm still feeling yesterday today. Can you understand that?
Absolutely.
Do you have the patience for that?
Right.
That's something that a lot of people cannot deal with. And
but do you feel like that's, for our culture, do you feel like that, and I'm just asking to understand, but do you feel like that mindset of feeling like we're a burden to people even before approaching them? Like
Well, think about it. You're a black man. You're a black woman. You're supposed to be strong.
You have to be strong.
I'm a strong black woman.
And I have a lot of,
you're
like,
supposed to be
the majority of my friends are Latin and or Arab.
Same.
So they go through the same shit. It's like we're raised to be strong. If you show that you weak, even if you lost somebody, if you lost your job, you can't cry about it. Go get another one. If you got evicted, don't cry about it. Go find another place.
We're supposed to be the strong and
we're
the
always
resilient.
and why do you think that is? Why do you think we've been programmed? Because it is a program. Because it's a hindrance as well. With all due respect,
do
right?
You want to hear the raw? Because you pumped about 5 of these in me, so you want to hear the raw?
Tell me, please.
Well, maybe because we already are. So you can't fight facts, okay? Hey,
Facts.
okay. So that's what that is. We already are. If they, like you said, for your Spanish and Latino friends, they'll say they're the most hardworking, right? Okay. If you are, own that. If you're black and you're supposed to be automatically seen by others as strong, well, own that. But when does that become your burden?
When you don't accept it.
When does a stigma becomes your burden? When you embody just that from others' perspectives.
When you take it and act accordingly. Yes?
If I want to give myself a break, I'm not lazy. I already know I'm hardworking. That does not make me lazy or entitled. I work hard. You know that. I know that.
I agree.
If I'm strong, I'm entitled to be weak. You know that. I know that.
Absolutely.
I'm a human. Stigmas and labels, all that shit got to be taken off. Like, that shit's weak.
Absolutely. I completely fucking agree.
It's unrealistic.
Absolutely. And it leads me to the conversation of like, you know, we're strong believers, and I don't want to speak for you, but I know you personally, so speak a little bit on it. But we are of the mindset of like law of attraction.
Hey.
Right? What you think manifests. So for me, I was diagnosed at 17 years old with anxiety disorder. Right? I was in and out of the hospital at 17 years old. Like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on with me. And this is for any and everybody out there that's going through something that's related to mental health. It's okay to not know what's going on with you, but it's never okay to stay in that place. It's okay to be sad, but don't embody, like you just said, sadness as your character.
Well, who's around you right now? Ask yourself that. If you're sad and you surround yourself with sadness, how long you think you're going to be sad?
Forever.
Okay? If you're happy and you're around sad people, one or two things are going to happen. Either you're going to make them happy or they're going to make you sad. But there's possibility of exchange of energies. You cannot get around what you're already feeling. If I'm in a bad mood or a negative spirit, I'm vibrating low, I'm not going to get around anybody else who's making me feel that plus some, amplified.
Absolutely.
I already know you got bad juju or bad energy. I'm not coming to my hostile friend when I'm sad. She's going to make me either angry or more hostile, more like sad. She's not going to make me happy. I'm going to probably try to find the opposite, right?
So let me ask you a question. What do you say to the people that don't have that? They don't have friends that are positive. What happened? What advice do we give to the person that only, and this is a lot more people than we know. There's a lot of people that will hear that and say, yeah, that sounds great, but my circle is all sadness. All the people around me is negative, and I don't want to cut my homegirl off because I've been knowing her since elementary. I don't want to cut my boyfriend off, who's the most negative person in my life, or my girlfriend off, who's the most negative person in my life, because I've been knowing them a long time, because I'm in love. What do you say to the people that say, well, yeah, I hear you, Lucky. Surround yourself with positive people, but how do I do that when all I know is sadness? How do I do that? And then it goes to the conversation of you have to make difficult decisions. That's what I would tell them. You have to have enough self-love and self-direction, self-clarity. Why do I say that more so than self-love? Because if you know you're working towards a goal, if you are aware of who you are, if you are aware of why you were placed down here on this planet, then you would have an easier transition when it comes to cutting, quote unquote, because I really don't like that term, but I'll use it for the sake of conversation. You'll have an easier time cutting people off when you're aware of why you're here. What do you say to that? Can I get a lighter? Anybody who got a lighter, Pally plug? Anybody? I need a lighter because we about to spark that good old Blue Moon Meds.
Hey.
Hello, excuse me. We about to spark that. We about to spark that good old,
real gas.
Blue Moon Woods. Yep,
Got
my
it?
brother.
Oh,
Much love.
thank you, baby.
I missed it, but I got it. Go ahead and open up that thing right there, because we about to dive into this. And don't forget my question, because I tend to do that.
I didn't.
Hello.
What
It's
do
a
you
deep
do
one.
when you're
What do
only
you do?
around your
You're
own
around
energy?
negative people.
When you're only around your own
That's
energy.
it.
Because you said if you're sad, what do you do when you're only around sadness?
Yeah.
If you're mad, what do you do if you're only around angry
Facts.
people? What I would say is if you have a small circle or no circle, you have to immediately change you. There are some people who will influence or encourage change in you. But if you don't have those people present, then you have to be your own savior.
Got you.
For those who are non-religious, I'm very religious and spiritual. Because there is a difference.
And I want to get into that too.
There is a difference. But thank you, appreciate that. I do want to say you have to be your own savior. And like you said, some people will deal and tolerate a lot because of history. You have to choose happiness and health because health is happiness is health over history. I've been knowing a certain friend 10 to 14 years. I had to cut her off. She was keeping me 14 years ago. She did nothing wrong to me.
Keeping you in the old mindset.
She did nothing wrong. Like, people need a reason or an excuse sometimes to cut you off. All I need to know is to see that there is no future with us. She was not going to be in my 5, 10, 15. She was not going to be one of my bridesmaids, the godmother to any of my forthcoming children. Why am I wasting more time and days with you? You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I only realized that after I could bear the news to take or I can lose my best friend. I can lose anybody because that meant something. So if it means nothing, that's an easy call.
Absolutely.
It's not easy for everybody, though.
Absolutely. And what Lucky is saying is when you have that, like I mentioned earlier, when you have that amount of self clarity, self direction on your journey, you should be able to call that friend and say, look, can I holler at you today over lunch? Like, I've done this before. I'm not telling y'all nothing that I've never done before. You got the lighter?
Uh-oh.
I'll put it right here. Like, here it is.
Oh, got it.
So when it comes time to that process of like cutting someone off, quote unquote, because again, I don't really connect to that because you don't really cut anybody off. You're really connected to everybody. Even if you stop talking to them, you still connected to them, right? Just like we connect with a fucking tree that we've never spoken to. Like, humans are no different.
That's right.
But when it's time for you to clear your circle and to clear your energy and to get to a space to where you like, yo, I'm putting me first.
Okay.
And you know why you putting you first. Then the process of making that phone call and arranging that meeting to cut off a friend should be a lot easier. I think the people that struggle in this world with cutting people off are people that don't have a clear direction of where they're going. Like you just mentioned, I don't see you in my future. Everybody don't have a clear vision of their future.
Okay.
So if I don't have a clear vision of my future, how can I make decisions in my present that affect my future when I don't even know where I want to be in 5 years, let alone where I'm going to be?
Okay.
So for me, it's like I empathize a little bit because of that. But at the end of the day, you're going to die by yourself.
I was born by myself.
Excuse me. Nobody in the history of humanity have had a friend die and said, scoot over in your casket. I'm coming with you. You're dying alone. We will mourn you at your funeral. We will talk about you for a month on Instagram, and you will be gone.
Did you hear this, man?
Forever.
You in that motherfucker by yourself.
We will talk about you when we miss you. Who knows when that will be? But at the end of the day, you're dying by your motherfucking self. So why would I make decisions in my life and allow a person to be and to have access in my life, whether I love them or not? And we got to get into that because we tend to glamorize love more than we do respect.
Let's get into it.
We glamorize love more than we do loyalty.
Okay, let's get into it.
We glamorize love more than anything. And yes, it is the most powerful
emotion.
No, it is the most powerful force in the universe.
It's the most powerful emotion.
Right?
Yeah.
And emotion, absolutely. But it should not be your determining factor. Like, for example, I don't think people should get married just because they're in love.
Hello. This is not 1955.
Excuse me.
Hello.
I'm in love with you, so I'm going to marry you.
Hello.
No, I respect you, so I'm going to marry you. I'm loyal to you because I'm going to marry you.
All right.
I'm committed to you even on your worst days, so I'm going to marry you.
Okay.
It shouldn't be, oh, I'm in love, flowers, rose, because it's not always going to be flowers and roses.
Love is not always pretty.
Excuse me.
It is not always pretty. Shit. You see me? I'm not always pretty. I mean, my shield may be, but I'm not always pretty.
Facts.
No one is.
Nobody is.
All right.
And I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it takes me to the conversation of like, I'm so detached from people trying to tell me what to be. And you know that as well. Through me, like I've always tried to embody that as a performing artist, as a spoken word artist.
I remember.
Like, you're not about to tell me what a poet's supposed to sound like. You're not about to tell me what a podcast is supposed to be like. You're not about to tell me what a relationship is supposed to be like. You're not going to ever tell me what raising kids is supposed to look like, because you're supposed to came from another imperfect human, and they're supposed to came from another imperfect human, and the cycle goes on forever.
Okay.
So we're only recycling perspectives.
Okay.
Like
that.
You think your husband should have a 9-to-5, boots on the ground and truck drive because your daddy did. You think a woman's supposed to sit in the house, clean the house all day, cook all the meals, take care of the kids because that's what your mama did.
Hey.
So we only fight for what we were taught and shown.
All right.
So that's why I have the type of mindset.
Hello? What happens to the people that fight against everything they know and they meet a traditional person who is in alignment with everything that they do know? Okay, now.
There we go. There we go.
Now say now.
There we go. There we go.
All
Get
right.
into that. Get into that.
Back to the free thinking.
Mm-hmm.
When you are in perfect alignment,
Mm-hmm.
those are the times when you can't explain why you met this person. how y'all became friends, how you ended up at that party or that location or that space and that time. That is perfect alignment. It's something just unexplainable, unpredictable, uncontrollable. That is perfect timing. So anybody or any situation, any occasion or event or place in space and time that I'm in that is like that, I make note of that. I cherish that and I move off based accordingly.
Got you.
Okay, so if something just happened off me just saying fuck it, I winged it today. Whoever I came across, they may not be,
I got you.
in alignment. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying?
Like and when I hear that, I hear like look at the dating phase, for example, right?
Trash.
Like look at the standard. Look at the
Trash.
standard that we have created in
Basuda.
this society.
Trash.
We have made it okay. In this society, it's all of our faults. If you're in between the age of, I would say, 24 to 34, it's your fault right now what you're experiencing. We created this society in the 90s. We created this society with
Hold on. I was
excuse
just born
me,
in 94. I got nothing to do with this shit.
That's the 90s.
I was just here.
That's the 90s.
I was barely speaking. I don't know what the
and
fuck was
what
going
am I like? For example, let me give you an example. Watch this.
Hold on.
Does everybody here remember the first reality TV show for dating, which was called
Knicks.
Nope. For our culture. Fuck Knicks.
Excuse me. I
Our
was raised on
culture,
Knicks.
black and brown culture, it was the flavor of love.
I'm dead.
Am I lying?
It was.
What the fucking Flavor Flav?
Shout out to you. Keep trucking.
We all were, if you are black or brown, you know who the fuck Flavor Flav is.
I think everybody
How do you know who
knows.
Flavor Flav is? Not because of his music, because his music was in the 80s, early 90s. We was babies and not even born.
Oh.
You know him based off the reality TV show of him dating. And we was looking at this nigga like, how is this ugly ass nigga getting all these women?
Oh my God,
But,
my bucket had too tight. Hold
excuse
on.
me. But what did we do? This is why we in control of our culture. This is where I'm getting to. We said that's cool. How do they know that we said that's cool? Viewership. We watched it every week. We couldn't wait to see who he was going to pick. So now they come out with The Bachelor and The Bachelorette
Okay.
and the this and the that. But for our culture, we ain't know no Bachelor. That nigga in Beverly Hills. We live in Mid-City. We live in South Central. We live in Torrance, Hawthorne, Gardena, Compton.
Okay.
We don't live in Beverly Hills. We cannot relate to him. But we could damn sure relate to an ugly ass nigga. So let me give y'all this image to make all of y'all want to be like him. And then you have a whole entire culture of portrayal. This is exactly why who was the hottest mixtape artist in the motherfucking 2000s without competition in hip hop? Lil Wayne.
Hey.
Lil Wayne is a GOAT because, and I've never said this on camera, but Lil Wayne is a GOAT because he controlled an entire culture of artists. It's the same reason Kanye West is. What does that mean? How does Lil Wayne look, y'all? Black man, dark skin, hella tattoos, face tats, colorful dreads, auto-tune.
That's the new Wayne.
How many of those have we seen?
That's the new Wayne.
How many of what I had just,
Thug,
how many current artists can we explain that look like him?
Thug, Uzi.
Excuse me?
I ain't gonna get
Lil Yachty.
I ain't gonna
Why
get
they
into
putting
too
Lil
much.
in front of their name? Because they're inspired by Lil Wayne. Everybody Lil Baby, Lil Yachty. No, not to nobody. I'm just giving Wayne
Right.
like
All great
like
artists.
this is
All
a
great
fact.
artists.
So I say that to say before I switch to the next topic, we ain't gonna be no different. And King Q is gonna be known on this planet for being the nigga that modeled you ain't gotta follow the rules and you can still be successful.
Amen.
I'm gonna be the one to pick that flag up and walk on podcast and say, you can do whatever the fuck you want and still go your next day and go to a middle school and inspire some kids.
Okay.
You don't have to be cookie cutter. You ain't got to wear a suit. You can wear a wave cap on your shit.
Yeah.
And you can smoke weed on your shit.
Yeah.
And you can have intellectual conversations with other creatives and influencers and change the entire dynamic of what this culture is supposed to be.
And just be yourself.
And just being you.
That's,
Ashe.
That's the most That's the most beautiful and authentic thing to be is yourself. It's something so pure and raw and respectable and admirable about that. People that don't even know you, if you're just being yourself, they will gravitate towards you because that's rare. Somebody just enjoys being themselves, happy, being themselves, comfortable. being them. I walk in the room and I notice most women, sadly, a lot of beautiful women are intimidated, not because they feel less prettier than me, because they already know that they don't feel as comfortable in their skin as I do in mine.
AKA confidence. They're not as confident as you.
Men as well. That's a two-way street.
Right.
A two-way street. I want people to know you don't have to, as they say, code switch. Like, for example, if I get in a room with my corporate friends, I'm still going to sound like this because they know I talk like this.
Right.
I may have to over-enunciate for some because I do have a heavy accent, you know, whatever. But other than that, you know, you gon' just be yourself is what I'm saying. Like,
that's right.
It's okay. And the people that's supposed to be in your life, supposed to gravitate towards you, they will accept you and be there and support that. You don't have to be anybody else other than yourself.
I heard the fuck out of that. I heard the fuck out of that. I got to tap in with the vibes right now because I'm feeling goddamn good.
Hey.
Excuse me. Huh?
Hey. I'm
like,
just getting a little
like,
warm.
shout out to our sponsor, our cannabis sponsor. This is the one and only Blue Moon Woods that we smoking right now. And
I'm a picky smoker. Not to cut you, brother.
Talk to me.
I'm a picky smoker.
Yeah.
My brother got me high right now.
Yeah.
So shout out to Alex. Yeah. I would say him if it was trash and it is gas.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Big old gas too. Like, this is the type of herb get a nigga thinking about all type of shit, nigga. Like,
okay, let's get into the aliens though.
God damn.
You know I'm a Martian.
Excuse me.
Hello, you
Excuse
talking about
me.
Wayne, so we just gonna talk about the Mars.
Let's do
you
that.
know?
Crack it open for me. Talk a little bit about like shit. She talking about the
Elon
Martians.
Musk talking to the
okay.
Russians about going, who's gonna make it to a different planet next. First off, Elon, chill. We're not trying to get into it.
Yeah,
with
he
folks.
wildin'.
We trying to make peace.
You think he a human? Elon Musk? You think he a
this
human?
nigga something?
I don't know. I don't
He's
think
subhuman.
I don't think the nigga's human.
He done got chipped. That nigga on
Yeah,
some
he
red
on some
pill
shit.
shit.
I think that nigga AI fucking program or some shit.
This nigga is a
I'm gonna talk to
subhuman.
him one day too, like, and I'm gonna ask the nigga.
Hey Elon, I ain't
Like-
even dissing though. Send me some crypto.
Real shit, real shit,
But,
real shit. Understood.
But yeah,
But like, yeah, man, it's like I think we'd be fools to think that we was the only version of God's creation.
huh?
Man, we'd be so arrogant to think that we're the only ones that was created.
It's
to
crazy.
think.
It's crazy. I just had this conversation with him the other day. I was like, you think it's other life forms exactly like us that can speak, you know,
I believe that.
functionality,
Yeah, I believe
look like
so.
us, just in, you know, different planets.
Yeah.
We both agreed that yes,
For
we
sure.
cannot be the other, and there's thousands of other planets.
Right.
And vortexes and shit. Hell nah.
Realms,
It's not-
realities.
It's not just us. It couldn't be.
Like,
That
so
is
my
ignorant.
herbalist, his name is Dr. Askia.
Okay.
I go to his house, and he's an African herbalist, right? Shout out Dr. Askia. Y'all probably know him in L.A. But when I go to his house, he's an older guy, so he tends to, you know how old folks sometimes repeat the same thing every time they see you and don't realize they're repeating the same thing every time they see you? He's one of them type of niggas. But I go in his crib, and he's like, he start kicking game immediately. And he has Alexa in his house, the little fucking AI. And he gets into the conversation of religion. He gets into the conversations of, you know, saviors like Jesus or whoever you believe in, with all due respect.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, well, if this was true, then let me ask this question to Alexa real quick and see what she say. He says, Alexa, how many planets are in the Milky Way galaxy? Nope, I'm lying. And y'all could Google this. He says, Alexa, how many galaxies are in the universe? How many galaxies? Galaxies, which is what houses planets, for those of you who don't know. That's what we're in, a galaxy. It houses planets. How many galaxies are known to be in existence? Alexa goes to say, you can ask Siri right now on the spot. She says there are known to be over 2 trillion galaxies in existence. 2 trillion galaxies, not planets. So are you going to sit here and convince me that, and this is with all due respect to everybody's belief system, I promise to God it is, but this is a podcast for free thinkers, individuals that want to think of things that are outside of their norm. This is who our audience is. But if you have over 2 trillion galaxies that all house planets, an unknown number of planets, all of them house planets.
Right.
Are you saying that same Savior went to over all those planets and did the same thing in order to declare he's God? Or declare he's the messenger? So this is why spirituality is what I gravitate to, and less religion for me personally. Because I would much rather think that God is the force of love, the actual force of love. What we feel love, that is God. God is the ruler
Let me
of.
ask you a question,
What do you
Brody.
think? Talk to me.
What is love?
Love is the manifestation of God. That's how I would explain it.
Okay. That's the context.
That's the manifestation of God.
That's the context.
What you think?
That's your politically correct answer.
Okay.
Raw. What is love?
The only word that comes to my mind when I think of love is manifestation. That's all that's coming to me.
Let me do something
do you think?
unorthodox real quick. You know that's my style.
Beautiful.
So right here,
Yeah.
what is love to you?
He said he don't know.
It's nothing right or wrong. I just want to know.
Yeah.
If somebody
she's
right
getting
now,
to a
which
beautiful point.
somebody is me, what is love to you? Affection?
He says affection.
You? What is love?
Probably when like you care about someone more than just a friend.
More than just
Okay.
sister. What is love? An emotion.
Okay.
Baby, what
Safe.
is love?
A
Second
second
hand.
hand. Hello. Come on, talk to me.
What is
Danny.
love? Oh.
I love it. He said a compliment?
In the corner.
Yeah.
Are you a Scorpio?
Was that the word you were looking for?
No.
Oh, I was about
But
to say.
It was a Scorpio answer.
Got you.
Okay.
So talk to me. Where are you going with it?
Okay. See how I could ask everybody in the room what is love, and there was no definite answer. Is love definite?
No.
What's my point? All right. But back to your.
No, please help me to understand that last piece because I don't want to miss it because I didn't get that last tiny piece. I got everything up to that. Say it again one more time, please.
See how everyone had a different description of what love was?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it definite?
Yes.
Because anything definite does not change, correct? Water
Okay.
is definite.
Okay.
Fire
Perfect.
is definite.
Got it now.
Air is
Got it.
definite. Earth is definite.
Definite. Guaranteed.
How is love definite if I just ask 7 different people the same question? I got 7 different answers.
So isn't that and I love that. Now let me ask you this. What is God?
He's definite.
So when I say God is love, now you see where I'm going.
But
They're both definite.
Let's say I believe, because duality is definite and it is
Okay.
real. He speaks about that.
Okay.
If I believe in love, but I don't believe in God, or let's say I believe in God, but I
You
don't believe in love.
Can
Duality.
you even do that? Is that even possible?
Back to what I believe in, which is perspective.
Okay.
Because there's
I'm a believer of perspective as
there's
well.
2 different people can say I believe in God and don't believe in love.
I see where you're
I
going.
believe in love and I don't believe in God.
I see where you're going.
But aren't they the same thing?
Got you.
If we read, it's supposed to represent the same thing. Definite is what people are looking for.
So let me ask you this then. Considering that fact, is it a such thing as somebody being wrong?
You would ask the villain.
No, like because if it's all about if the end goal is perspective, which I agree with,
Okay.
then that means nobody's wrong. Because everyone sees what they sees and they have a valid reason for why they see what they see. Everyone's belief system is right because it's your belief system. It's your perspective. So who's wrong? Who are we to ever tell someone that they're wrong based off choosing how to live?
Okay, so we're clear, everybody. I don't want to be a part of the culture who makes gray area normal.
Yep.
And by that I mean, well, what's right and what's wrong. You know what the fuck is right, and you know what the fuck is wrong.
But how? Based off who taught you that?
Instinct. Every human knows when you do something, it's an emotion that comes behind an action.
Well, what if
If it feels wrong in you, it's wrong.
well, let me ask you this.
What's up?
Let's say we're on the top of a building. Let's say we're on the top of the Eiffel Tower. And one of us is a parachutist. And the other one is a regular civilian. The civilian jumps off the building with a parachute and feels nothing but fear the whole time down.
Okay.
The parachutist feels nothing but bliss, joy, and happiness. Who was wrong? So that's my point.
Perspective.
I think perspective is the ruler. There's no such thing as then saying you know what's right and you know what's wrong. Because what I may feel is right may not be right for you.
Hey,
so
now.
so what I may feel is that's the reason why I gave that example. That I don't believe that any human being has the right to ever tell another human being that what they are doing is wrong. That does not exist. We have that. We don't have. And the only person that tells us we have that right is our ego.
I think, like I said, believing in a higher source and not condemn some. So with that said, I cannot mistreat or disrespect the elders or babies, and I feel that that's wrong. Whether you believe in a higher source or not, wrong is wrong. Whether that's your perspective or not.
Okay.
There are certain things that are back to definite.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't, unless you're some twisted person, harm an animal.
Right. And convince yourself.
And convince yourself that that is okay.
I see where you're going.
Even in the culture of hunting, you have to have some type of sense of humanity when you put them down, so to speak. So you can't, wrong is wrong, right is right. Like, there are certain things that are just definite, so people can't comfort themselves on, oh, wrong is a perspective. No, you know what the fuck is wrong, and you know what is right. You sit down time game.
No, we good. We solid. So, real quick, I want to ask another question because we're getting deep.
Okay.
And I attested to something. I attested to this beautiful Blue Moon Wood product.
Hey.
That I'm smoking. Because like my good brother Pally Plug always says, Blue Moon Woods, Blue Moon Meds is the best thing smoking. So shout out to Blue Moon Meds again. Make sure y'all follow Blue Moon Meds at bluemoon.woods on IG. And also shout out to our other sponsor, which is where we at right now. This is actually the #1 hookah lounge in all of Los Angeles, California. This is Blue Moon.
Come here.
Yeah, excuse me. Every weekend we right here, Blue Moon Hookah Lounge. We are open Thursday through Sunday every single week. Open 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. every Thursday. We open from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. every Friday and Saturday, and then back to 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. every single Sunday. Check out Blue Moon Hookah Lounge at bluemoonhookahlounge.com, and as well as Blue Moon Hookah Lounge on Instagram. Hey, also, we got to shout out Fumari right now. It's a lot of dope plugs over there at Fumari. We got to talk. So I said I love the product so much. Let me go ahead and just manifest. That's all I'm going to say. What's understood ain't got to be said. So shout out to Fumari, baby. Back to the conversation real quick. Before we leave, before I came here, I was at the crib, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm with my queen, and we like to watch a lot of podcasts at the house.
Okay.
I mean, you name it, we watch it. All things culture. And we was watching Joe Rogan's podcast about 1.5 years ago with Kanye West.
Okay.
And the interview, I encourage everybody to watch that interview, man, because it's powerful. It helps you to really, like, see how this man thinks. Kanye West, that is. And the reason I bring him up is because it seems like ever since he's entered the industry, he's always been in the headlines. And this day and age is no different. But I just want to get your perspective on him. A lot of people look at Kanye West like he's a crazy man, like he's somebody who needs to be off medication. He's somebody who needs to be controlled, needs to be contained. Everything he says, we question. Why do you think Kanye West has the type of stigma he has, and what is your personal perspective on him?
Honestly?
Please give it to me.
I think Kanye is genius.
Excuse me. Hello.
Kanye for president. But no, seriously, I think Kanye has an immense amount of influence over culture, period. He's a very intelligent person, and I think it's very dismissive, as Dave Chappelle once said, to call someone crazy because you don't understand them. It's dismissive, just so you don't understand their perspective. We don't know what that man is going through.
Facts.
We're not even in his tax bracket to be really speaking on him for real. Hello.
Hello.
But as you know, a fan of his music, his work, and him as a person, I think he's just raw and authentic. So to be at that level of exposure, when you're at that level of exposure, people have access to your life or what they think they have access to your life, you know, and who you are as
Right.
a person. Judgment, criticism, all that comes with that. So he's just a normal person having a normal human experience, and we should give him some slack. He's doing extraordinary thing as a
Yeah.
normal person, by the
No,
way.
for sure.
So
But I don't think he's
Shout out to Ye.
shout out to Ye, man. I don't think, and I'm gonna sit with him one day, and we're gonna have a beautiful conversation.
I remember this.
Excuse me, he gonna remember this because it's gonna live forever as soon as my good brother Frank and Raimundo. As soon as my brothers
Yeah.
post that thing, man. Shout out to the new team at Unselfish Behavior Podcast. I hope
And
they're here for a lifetime.
doing a phenomenal job,
But
by the
but
way.
but yeah, Ye gonna remember this moment. Ye, one day on my 3 daughters, you will be sitting next to me, and we're gonna be having a beautiful conversation. I'm gonna pass you a blunt, and I'm gonna say, "Talk that shit, my brother."
All right.
But what I learned about Ye earlier, and what I learned about him through this past podcast that he just posted on Netflix, which is crazy, super dope. I mean, this nigga been getting footage of his journey since he literally started. His documentary is fire. Definitely check that out on Netflix. But I say that to say, Ye is definitely, he onto something.
Okay.
He's onto something. And I think that the way he communicates, the way that he thinks, it is not normal. He's not a normal human. A normal human is a programmed, caged slave. Ye thinks for himself. How many people do you know in your immediate family, in your friend circle, that have the ability to speak for themselves in public? Not in private. They could talk all that shit in private. How many people do you personally know that could talk shit in public with a microphone in front of people and say, "I'm the greatest that ever lived. I'm a god. I'm this, I'm that." All these empowering things about themselves. It's not many. Unless you know King Q. Excuse me. But back to the topic at hand.
Hey.
Excuse me. Back to the topic at hand. Niggas like that are going to
It
be the
done
reason.
done start kicking in.
Thank you. Excuse me. The niggas like that going to be the ones to change the planet
All right.
forever.
Okay.
So when he speak, I listen. Why? Because it's different. I'm trying to learn another language.
All right.
I'm not expecting Ye to speak like me. He not from where I'm from. He didn't experience what I experienced. He don't have the same thought processes
That's
as
okay.
me. So that's why I have a podcast. I want to learn from different minds.
True.
Ye is no different. We look at the man and we tell him he's supposed to be a certain way as an artist. He's supposed to be a certain way as a father. He's supposed to be a certain way as an influencer. And it's like, who made all these rules?
Pause. Speaking of fatherhood, I have no children. I'll just give that disclosure, but I'm a damn good aunt, and I know a lot about kids. I'm the rich aunt.
Hello.
So, hello.
Rich auntie,
So,
right
hey,
here, and in a place to be.
Okay.
Understood.
So, that said, any man who wants to be in his children's life, do not make that a complex
Process.
process,
Yeah.
please. Do not make that a difficult situation for him, please.
Yeah.
It is impossible to ridicule a man who is persistent about being in his children's life,
Facts.
or reluctant to let a stranger or a weirdo, just my personal opinion,
Hey,
in his
I hear you.
children's lives. You know,
I've been
facts is facts. Pictures are out there. Videos are out. We know what that man stands for, what he's about. He's comfortable making inappropriate comments, videos. You know, he shouldn't be
there.
around
Just speaking his mind.
another man's children,
Right.
period.
Right.
Especially not being a father himself. She should respect it as well. And that's all I have to say on those strangers.
Hey, facts. That's an absolute fucking
But I
fact.
think Kanye is not crazy because he's setting boundaries for his children. He doesn't want a 7, 8, 9, whatever
What, on TikTok?
on TikTok.
Yeah, it's
She's
understandable.
exposed to the world. There's so many creeps and weirdos. That's not appropriate. So I think to chastise that or to spite him for that is ridiculous.
Facts. I
Actually.
completely agree. And as I sit here and reflect, I say, wow. I got 3 words for the audience.
Wow.
I'm really high.
Period.
And on that note, man, I feel like, I always want to end my episodes to where it's completely digestible for my audience. And right now, I feel like it's right there.
Okay.
We covered a lot of ground.
We did.
We talked about some dope, deep shit.
We did.
We had fun.
We did.
We got faded.
We did.
We took shots. Matter of fact, we got our last shot right here before
Last
we
shot.
leave. Excuse
Hey.
me. Excuse me. Hello, right here. Yes, yeah. But on that note, man, I just want to say, Lucky.
Yes, sir.
You a legend.
Thank you.
Lucky, you going places. Lucky, you going to be one of the ones we talk about when you gone.
Don't say
Lucky,
that.
you making an impact.
I try.
Lucky, you a leader.
Appreciate that.
Lucky, you a world changer. Lucky, all you do is attract abundance. Lucky, you rich. Lucky, you rich in spirit and the physical. Excuse me, we could go all day, but I just want to big up my sister real quick. Absolutely, much love, sis.
Okay, and
much
if
love.
I got 20 seconds to,
okay,
count
I'm here to
'em,
receive as well.
I'm a sharpshooter.
Yeah.
My
Facts.
brother Q.
Hello.
I've never met someone who just gravitates to other humans the way you do.
Ashe.
It's so pure and unintentional because a lot of people have motive and intent.
Absolutely.
I tried to peep you and scope you and find flaw because that's a Scorpio thing to do. It's a very old Scorpio thing to do.
Yeah.
I was scanning you and peeping you, and I was like,
what this
man,
nigga want?
If this nigga really like this or this for the cams? You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga really like that because I'm very, as you told me in the beginning, you was like, pipe down. You so, and not in that sense, you was like, you so standoffish. Like, you were running right opportunities.
Engaged, nigga.
You engaged, nigga. Like you got a light in you.
Yeah.
And you dimming it yourself. Nobody else is throwing shade on you.
Damn,
Nobody else is hating.
I remember that conversation.
Because you was like, are you all right when I made that live?
I remember that conversation.
The one and
That's
only
crazy.
time of like 7 years of having Instagram that I went live.
Facts.
It's like, you all right. My brother reached out to me because I did feel like a friend was being low-key shady. We'll wrap it up real fast, though. He was like, you run off opportunities because you're self-sabotaging. Mm-hmm. Like, why you so, resistant to people and reluctant? Mm-hmm. And I thought most people that I engaged with, we ain't going to say no names.
Hello. Well, some shit ain't got to be said.
You know what I'm talking about.
Some shit ain't got to be said.
They all for the cameras. Fake positive, fake real.
Yeah.
All that, showmanship, as I call it.
Facts.
And there's people that's out here that will really teach you to be open. You have to be susceptible to change, to hurt. Whatever you receive, learn from it, though. Don't run from it. And, embrace it and learn and engage and change for the better. So my brother taught me that. I think you are a immaculate human.
Thank you.
All the way across the board. I see the way you love your woman, your kids. You are an inspiration to all young black men, what young black love is. I respect you so much. I adore you so much. You're a real one. And it's up for life. My brother.
Well, I'm going to cry now. Thank you so much. Like, that means the absolute world to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Well received. And thank you so much.
And we gangling out here.
Absolutely. So. Excuse me. So, listen, you already know after the cameras go off, we're going to keep the party going. You got to do that. But just shout out to our sponsors one more time, Blue Moon Hookah Lounge, the #1 hookah lounge in all of Los Angeles, California. Make sure you check them out Thursday through Sunday. Follow them at Blue Moon Hookah Lounge on Instagram, and then BlueMoonHookahLounge.com. Become a personal member of the lounge. It's BYOB. They 420 friendly. There's twerking going on every weekend. It's really, really crazy. So tap into Blue Moon Hookah Lounge right here in Los Angeles. And then also what you want to do is check out BlueMoon.Woods on IG. BlueMoon.Woods on IG. You get all your cannabis needs, everything from edibles, pre-rolls, flower. I mean, you name it, they got it. They even got wax, excuse me. And they even sell bongs. Can you believe it? So real quick, check in with them, and then shout out to Fumari. Follow Fumari at IG. With that being said, Lucky, thank you so much again for coming out. I'm King Q. This is Lucky. We are the Unselfish Behavior Podcast.
You know what's going on. Tap in.
And we out.
Like a satellite running laps round the